All right, everybody, I am back with a brand new DC update. And it has been probably about 3 or 4 days since I posted my last DC video. I've done some reviews for TV shows and movies, and you guys should really check those things out. It's a big part of what my channel is and will be going forward. So it's not just DC stuff, and if you haven't checked those things out, it really does help my channel. It helps the algorithm. It helps everything. So if you guys could check out the reviews, that would be fantastic. But there hasn't been a whole lot of DC news going on. But as you can tell by the thumbnail, yes, it is over, and we're going to see what that means here with one of the screen grabs that I have for today's video. And also, you're going to want to stick around till the end if you want to see how unhinged some of the Gunn fans have become with some of the posts that I have done on X. And I'm still waiting for my blue check mark from Elon Musk. It's been more than a week since I paid for the premium version of X, and I still don't have my blue check mark, and I don't know what they're waiting for. But we're going to head over to X, and we're going to see just how crazy these people get. I love to troll people on X. I think it's funny. It's hilarious to see people get riled up. And it helps me block a lot of the unhinged people out there, and there are a lot of them. We'll talk about that when we get there, though. But let's get into the screen grabs I have for today's video. So first up, this is a leak from Superman, and this has now been confirmed by several different people that the team that Guy Gardner leads in the film is called the Justice Gang. Toy Leaks also confirm this, and this comes from Daniel RPK. Everything about this production is cheap. The Justice Gang, they're considered a gang. When has a gang ever been a good thing? And for them to see themselves as a good thing seems kind of weird. There's no originality in any of this. I think these costumes are cheap, and this isn't the only time we're going to be talking about the costumes in this video. Also, there appears to be a logo for Supergirl that is out there, and there's some stuff that's been posted on X recently with some movie posters and some other things, and everything coming out of Hollywood now just looks cheap. This looks like a very cheap logo for the film. I hope it doesn't look like that. I hope this is just a placeholder until they figure out what the logo is going to be for Supergirl, but the filming has ended. I'm more excited for Supergirl than I am Superman, because I don't want to be involved with anything James Gunn is doing. I don't think he's right for DC. He hasn't been right for DC. So I'm more excited for this. But the name is kind of weird, the logo. It's just cheap. Everything coming out of DC looks cheap. Now, this is pretty cool. So Michael DeLuca and Pam Abdi were supposedly going to be pushed out of Warner Brothers, but it says don't count them out just yet. With blockbusters like Sinners and a Minecraft movie at their back, the embattled duo hopes they are finally off the hot seat. At least that's what their boss David Zaslav assured them. We took him at his word. Now, with Sinners could possibly make more money this weekend than it did last. There's a word of mouth. I have wanted to go out and see this movie all week. I just have not had the opportunity. I do want to see it and get a review up. I've heard nothing but good things about it. I haven't heard anybody say anything bad about it other than that it could have been a little bit shorter. But Sil Abdul posted this and said Zaslav supposedly has not made a final decision regarding replacing DeLuca and Abdi. I don't trust him till they actually get extended. And I would agree with him. I don't trust anything that David Zaslav says. Anything. I think the guy is a backstabber. He's a CEO or a president of a movie company, and he is cutthroat. And I would say that his stuff is borderline criminal. Now, there was a video that was posted. This is a still from the video. I'm not going to show you guys videos. I don't want Warner Brothers to ever take my videos down or demonetize my channel because I shared something that shouldn't be shared. But there was a video of Lobo out there actually throwing what looks like might have been a grenade. And you could tell that this was Momoa, much bigger than that stupid AI photo that was being released. And so this was on the set of Supergirl, and it looks like him and Supergirl were fighting, some people said. But it looked pretty cool with him throwing this. It's in a little filming area that they have, and so there's going to be a lot of CGI in the film for sure. But yeah, it's really that's a real look at Lobo. I do have another picture here. It's just not as good. I also have this one. This is kind of a little bit more of the set, and he was kind of throwing in that direction of that whatever this thing is off to the side. And so little things are getting leaked out in regards to Supergirl. I can't wait until we get some official photos. I'm definitely more optimistic for that than I am anything for Superman. They got her suit right at least. Also, there's been a lot of talk this week. I'm going to point a couple things out about this Superman photo. First of all, look at the back of his shoulder. Look at how the rubber, and that's what this is. This is a rubber suit. It's just weird. And it bunches up in the back of his shoulder there. Like, it looks terrible. That looks absolutely terrible. And the fabric, it looks like that the actual cape is made out of felt, which is weird. Like, there's nothing about this suit that looks really good. And I used to really like the look of the cape, but now that you get a close-up and it looks like felt, that's kind of weird. Now, as far as his look goes here, he looks kind of scary, like he's mean. Superman is not supposed to be mean. There's been a lot of talk about this online, and I posted this, and I'm like, all of a sudden everybody's okay with him being beat down, depressed, looking mean. When have we really seen a photo where he is smiling and being Superman, other than when he was being carried by the robots? It's crazy to me that this movie gets released in about 2 months, and we don't even have a trailer. There isn't even a trailer with dialogue from the actors. I have never seen a big blockbuster film of this size that's supposed to be amazing not have a formal trailer by this stage of the game. It's pretty freaking crazy. Also, for those who haven't checked it out, I did finally get up my review for Creature Commandos. It was late. This show finished up at the time where my accident had just happened, and things were crazy, and I just hadn't gotten to the point where to sit down and actually do the review, and I finally did that. So that's on my channel as well. Now, this is something I wanted to share. I thought this was freaking hilarious. These are actual Halloween costumes that are coming out for Halloween 2025, and these suits look better than the suits in the actual film. That Superman suit right there looks better than what they actually have in the film. It doesn't look like rubber. It looks like real fabric. You can actually see that this person has muscles. That looks like Superman. And I like the size of the logo as well. This is better than what the studio is putting out. How sad is that? That's pretty crazy. Now, I really like this actor a lot. Paul Ben Victor has officially been cast as Anton in Lanterns. This comes via Deadline. And I don't know who Anton is. I'm not a Green Lantern lore person. I am Batman, but not Green Lantern. So if anybody knows who this character is in the comic books, please sound off in the comments below and let me know a little bit about the history of this character, because I don't know who that is. But he has officially been cast in Lanterns, and that was talked about a lot this week. Also, James Gunn posted another photo, okay? This photo was celebrating John Cena's birthday. And who's in the front here? And I want you to notice, I'm gonna encourage people to go back and look at his photos here, because what we have is we have Peacemaker, and then we have James Gunn. James Gunn is actually standing in front of Peacemaker. He's closer to the camera than John Cena is, but this is supposed to be celebrating John Cena's birthday. He does this in he has to insert himself into everything. Now, I've had people come in and start posting pictures of Zack Snyder doing this as well. You guys are being stupid. I'm not a Zack Snyder channel. I don't know why you guys keep thinking I'm obsessed with just Zack Snyder stuff and that's all that I want. This has nothing to do with Zack Snyder. And Zack Snyder wasn't sharing those photos. Those were other journalists sharing those. This is actually James Gunn sharing these photos, and he's always in them. I actually saw someone Photoshop and pull him out. But what I encourage everybody to do is go back and watch a lot of the photos that he's released where he's talking about other people, where he's the one that's the focal point, or he's in front of the other actors or facing the camera more than the other actors are. It is the most bizarre thing I have ever seen. Here's that actual post. James Gunn has shared a new look at Peacemaker Season 2 to celebrate John Cena's birthday. More like to celebrate himself. Also, there was a lot of talk of the Superman figure being sold out, and that it's sold out within a day at McFarlane. I will tell you that a lot of the DCEU figures sell out within minutes. If you go to McFarlane Toys right now, you can still order this 7-inch figure. It is available. The only one that is sold out is the one with the dog. Now, people say, well, this is because they're doing restocks. They're not doing restocks because these figures have not been made yet. They get released in June, and they're doing pre-sales on these. They don't restock pre-sales, okay? These have been up and have never been sold out. There's also another bundle that you can get as well. You also have this pre-order bundle. You can actually get all of these figures, including the dog, for less than retail, what they would normally charge. And so you get a bundle of all 4 of these figures. You get the Kaiju, you get the Superman with Crypto, you get Metamorpho, and you get the flying, or the other version of Superman. And you can get all of those for $129.99, which is actually a really good deal if you want that, but it's already on sale. Now, this is actually pretty cool. Batman is my favorite character, so I have no problem with this. But it says, Batman is set to appear in 7 upcoming DC movies and shows. Full list of projects at thedirect.com. Now, a lot of these are on kind of hold. As we know, the Batman 2 is on hold. The Brave and the Bold has not been announced. And Season 2 of Caped Crusader, that has been announced and should actually be out later this year, as a matter of fact. Yesterday, Japan started selling tickets to Superman. Here in the U.S., they have not announced yet when these are going to go up for sale. But like I said, we're almost just 2 months away from the release, and there hasn't been much released for this. Yes, they had their Superman Day stuff, get released for the people in the know, but still the general population does not even know this movie is coming out. Now, somebody had asked James Gunn, is it true that Garrett Dillahunt will be playing Green Arrow and Lanterns next year due to him posting these photos on his Instagram story yesterday? And James Gunn said no. And honestly, I think Garrett is a little old to be playing this character. If he was younger, yes, he could have totally played this character. But he is, I think, aged himself out of that character at this stage. So here we go. This is why my thumbnail said it is over. A federal judge on Thursday rejected Schuster's nephew and estate from reclaiming foreign copyrights and blocking Superman's release, citing lack of jurisdiction over the case. It will now release in the UK, Australia, Canada, and everywhere else it wasn't going to air. And this comes from Bloomberg, or Bloomberg Law. This was all over the news this morning, and I'm assuming that the judge did the right thing. We don't know the ins and outs, but I could tell you based on what I was reading when this all went down, this seemed like something that really could block this movie. And they tend to cite or tend to always go in the favor of the studios, which somebody needs to start taking away, the studio's ability to, really rule over everything. It's just crazy at this stage. All right, now we're going to head over to Twitter and to X, and I'm going to show you some of the posts that I did. All right, so the first post that I wanted to show you here that got a lot of people up in arms. In fact, a YouTuber who is obsessed with me and talks about me in their videos all the time did a whole video about this, and I thought this was crazy. So, Boba Talks posted, so as you could probably tell, this Superman gift was supposed to arrive on Superman Day, but hey, I'd celebrate it every day if I could, so I'm not complaining. Big thanks to Warner Brothers UK for sending over in celebration. And it basically was a really cool box. And it's funny how, well, it was for Superman Day, 2025, and it had the new Superman shirt in it, and it had a copy of the poster on the back of the box. I actually think this is cool as hell. If I got this stuff, I'd be celebrating it as well. But I said these people cannot be trusted with their opinions. They are being incentivized by the studio. And I stand by my statement. Now, a lot of people said, oh my gosh, you are cyberbullying Boba Talks. He's the nicest guy in the world. You're attacking him. I am not attacking him. I have never attacked anybody on my channel, and I never will. This wasn't about going after Boba Talks specifically, and I did a post about this yesterday, that I was not attacking him. Look at my words very closely. These people. I didn't say Boba specifically. It wasn't about him. Had anybody posted this, I would have shared it. Now, I will tell you, if I ever get to the stage where the studios are sending me stuff, I expect to get posts like this too. But I'm not a scooper, and I don't have the studios using me as an outlet to celebrate their stuff. Because I keep it real. They want yes people, okay? Boba Talks is one of the nicest YouTubers. I've seen out there, he just strictly gives you the news. He gives his a little bit opinion on stuff, and he has never attacked another YouTuber or another creator. So kudos to him. This was not about him specifically, and people need to understand the difference between cyberbullying and actually giving an opinion on something. The world has become unhinged, and that is a dangerous thing. So this was not about Boba Talk specifically, but I wanted to share that. Now let's look at a couple of posts that I did this morning I thought were actually pretty funny, and got some people up in arms here. We're getting closer. Here was the first one. Okay, so the first post that I did this morning said, and I thought this was pretty funny, but it got some people up in arms. I said, new Superman reports say that Scooby-Doo is in the film. Crypto and Scooby have a scene where they sniff each other's butts. Shaking my head. And I posted this, okay? This is not true. I think people can tell it's not true. I posted the GIF with ruh-roh, and it got people, most people agreed with me in my comments here, but I'm going to show you one post specifically. It's that same YouTuber who constantly attacks me. And so right after that, a few minutes later, I posted, the mystery machine has been spotted on the set of Superman in the streets of Metropolis. Okay, these are jokes. I think people clearly can see that these are jokes. The scary thing is, some people think this is real, and it goes to show you how James Gunn is not a serious filmmaker. Meaning, you could see him doing something like this. The fact that you have to contemplate that in the first place shows you how weird things are. Now, here's my favorite YouTuber who constantly attacks me. And he said, even though he is trying to be funny, there are people in the world who are gullible enough to believe it. A fan of DC would not spread misinformation like this to rile them up. Aaron, your hatred for Gunn is out of hand, my man. Just sit back and ignore all DC at this point. So he's basically telling me my opinion is wrong. I need to take a back seat, and I can't make jokes on my channel. He is trying to dictate what I should be doing. And what I posted is because he was the one saying I was cyberbullying him, and his followers were saying that I was cyberbullying Boba. And I said, stop bullying me. This is cyberbullying. And I said that because if the very minor thing I did with Boba Talks, this is more of a pointed attack. And so it's pretty crazy that people backed me up on this. And he said, if people think it could be true, says more about Gunn than Aaron. And that's absolutely true. And Evox said, what's wrong? Can't take a joke? People do it all the time on this app, and I don't see you giving them shit for it. You are so focused on what Aaron does and says that, with that being said, with that being said, I think you need to sit back, worry about yourself and not others. And I've told this individual that they need to focus on their own stuff. But all they do is constantly attack other creators. And so this is crazy that this happened. And so I did share that on my channel. And let's see what some of the comments are here. I said, it's so easy to upset these people. The fact that he claims I was spreading misinformation means he believed it, and it did rile him up. A whole post about it. They just can't leave other creators alone. And John Baker actually had another outlet. He did a joke too, and did this post. And so the Screen Rant did a whole entire article about what he posted. It was crazy. So Evox said, here's Slav's new hashtag, obsession. That's pretty funny, actually. And Quentin said, I knew it was fake, but I can pick Gunn adding that. You told a joke. What the F is wrong with people? Exactly. People knew it was a joke. Obviously, it's a joke. Dude, that Slav guy is stalking you. It's really sad. I said he does that. He can't stay in his own lane. All his videos are attacking other creators, and that's what it is. He doesn't have his own stuff. Someone said, this seems childish. All over a film is crazy. No, we can make fun of stuff. We can have an opinion. This is what the Gunn fans are telling you is you cannot, that Warner Brothers, the Superman movie, and Gunn are above criticism. They are not. And it's okay to make jokes. This wasn't attacking Gunn. I never attack Gunn. People, and after I posted the thing about Boba, people were coming back saying, you attack Gunn all the time. No, I don't. I don't call his phone. I don't send him messages. I'm not bombarding his social media with stuff. I keep it civil, and I don't attack people, and I never will. But I will absolutely criticize him for his narcissism, his lies, and the things that he does with the studio. Those things are not above criticism. It's his job. He is the head of DC Studios. It cannot be avoided. He needs to be talked about. All right, guys, so there you have it. Some craziness going on X. I just can't believe that these people, number one, can't take a joke, that they believe that their opinion and what they want is okay to go forward, but you can't have an opinion, and if you do, it's considered bullying. Like, it's the craziest thing in the world. I've never attacked people. I will never attack people. It's not who I am. It's not what my channel is about. These people really need to stay in their own lane. All right, guys, there's my video for the day. Have a fantastic weekend, and we'll see you guys here probably next week unless something big breaking happens. I probably won't have a video over the weekend, but I will be back next week with more videos. I do appreciate all the support. We will see you guys on the next video.